Hi, this is Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. Ginny. I'm sure you guys know me as Ginny, the one that kicks ass, the one that lives, the one that survives. That's me. You are listening to the Timo and Harley Show. Awesome show, awesome people, awesome guys. Have fun.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there's my partner in Mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, ho, 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 Harley.
Hey, how you doing, Timo?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Timo. Bah humbug. Bah.
We're going to have some bah humbug today in one of our official films, Mr. Ben Harley. But we'd like to wish everyone Merry Christmas and hope everyone else who celebrates different versions of Christmas, their version of the holiday, as they call them, the holidays these days. Merry holidays and Merry Christmas.
To all you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Harley and I are old-fashioned Christmas guys, so
yes, we are.
We're doing that. But I know there's other. That's a good time for people around now. Lots of people getting at least one day off work at one point or another, right?
Oh, I'm going to try to go for 4, my friend.
There you go.
Going for it. Yeah, I'm going to be fighting all the way.
Right. I hear you. So, but we're excited. Just hosted a Christmas party this last weekend with mom's side of my family.
Okay.
So that was a good time. Had a bunch of people.
That was about your 5th one, right?
Well, yeah. It was the third so far.
Wow.
Third, I think. Maybe I could have had 2 more, but I got out of them. I let Angio go on her own. So so it gets a little dumb around here around Christmas. I really love Christmas, but man, the month of December sometimes it's like I like everybody. It's just too much, and you know how it is. You got a special needs kid. You gotta get them ready, and then you have the other kids who are just as hard. Just at least to get moved.
Jerks.
Jerks. Right. So, but having it here is a little bit easier on us, believe it or not. I mean, even the cleaning thing. Well, you get a good cleaning done in your house, which everybody could use. So,
it's nice. You guys got a lot of space. It's nice and wide open there.
Yes.
Airy, as I'd like to say.
Yes. We had the old popcorn machine running too, so I was thinking about you. You got to get on that. You got to be here just for that. Screw anything else. We got a popcorn maker.
Exactly. Oh, it's well worth the trip.
I get more compliments on the popcorn, the taste of the popcorn, than my brand new house. I'm telling you right now. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. It's good stuff. It tastes like,
oh, this place looks nice. Where's the popcorn?
Yeah. I smell the popcorn. Oh, your house is wonderful. It smells like a movie popcorn time place or whatever. It's like, well, it's like a popcorn.
Exactly.
It's all about the popcorn. I'm going to have to bring some to a show.
Yeah.
I might have to bring the popcorn maker to a show and start selling popcorn.
Not a bad idea.
It's a bad idea when I'm the one that's got to take it. So, but,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, got some stuff here, Mr. Benhar. A little shop.
What you got, Mike?
Little Christmas announcements or shop, I guess I should say. Things to take care of here.
Sure.
First up, I want to keep mentioning that we got 2 conventions.
2.
Yes, this year that we're doing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, one's coming up. One's January 25th and 26th at the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
That's right.
It's Vet City Con. This will be, is it our third?
Yes.
I think it's our third. Yes, our third adventure to Vet City Con, where we show up at the Corvette Museum. We try to cause sinkholes. We key cars. And we do things like that. So we really
lots
don't.
of sinkholes over there, boy. Look out! Yeah,
I know. So we're gonna have a good time there, Mr. Dead Dick Hamas show.
Yeah,
and Dick and Casey, they just had a new baby. I hope the baby has a table and is vending already.
I'm sure that baby would do well.
I I mean, what? It's got to be 3 months old already. I mean, it's time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just take pictures with the baby for $1.
Yeah. Dead Dick's one of our dudes. You know, he's got that kid working already.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
He's painting something, like assembly line going. Yeah.
He's collecting driftwood for
right.
Dick's signs he's making and stuff. So,
exactly. Yeah. He's painting them and stuff.
Yeah. I think I got them. I think I got a Pet Cemetery sign coming this year. Finally, I'm going to hang up down in my forest.
He's got some good stuff. He's got an orca one that I was the boat.
Yep.
Not the movie.
I understand.
The boat orca. Yeah. Absolutely. So, but I don't know. Maybe I could talk him into doing the Bumpo from Orca. Maybe how about that?
You could probably talk him into anything. Wave a couple dollars in front of his face.
I got
$1. I got $1.
Right? Yeah. Come on. Man. Pint of whiskey goes a long way.
Right. So. And then next up, Mr. Ben Harley, May 31st to June 2nd in Cleveland, getting close up to your parts.
Rocks. Yeah.
Doing the inaugural Retro Invasion Weekend.
Yeah.
So our other pal.
I'm excited about this one.
I'm sure you are because it's close to you. Very far for me, but it's close for you.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to at that show now. We're going to have some friends there, especially our good friend Mr. Senor Danny Hicks.
Senor, yeah, they brought him in.
Yes. So I think they're going to be talking about some Intruder.
Yeah, that's cool, and I'm happy for Danny. That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That and it's a good movie. So
it is now that they pieced it back together the way it was supposed to be shown.
Yeah,
because when it came out on VHS, they butchered the hell out of it. I mean, to the point
they do that a lot, don't they?
Well, I mean, it was to the point where I saw it when I was like, I don't know, 18 or something, 17, when it was out out on the shelves, not in theaters. Never really hit theaters, but on the shelves. And I remember watching it, and I remember the cover art really touted that the people from Evil Dead and stuff like that were involved.
Were in it, involved, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm watching this thing going, man, there's something wrong with this movie. It doesn't feel like it's complete. Well, guess why? It wasn't complete. It's a totally different movie, but no, I like it now. Yeah, I like it now. And it's nice for Danny because even though the film didn't come out the way it was supposed to, I know they were hoping for like more of a theatrical run. They certainly weren't hoping for all the intricate effects to be cut from the movie.
And there's some serious effects
in that
movie.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, for that time period, that was like on steroids, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was.
Yep. So
there was very few other movies that were going that deep.
Right. Well, and Danny,
no pun at all.
Yeah. And Danny, as me and you know, if you're really good friends with Danny, what you know is a really Intruder, I think, is he gravitates toward that. I just think he likes his maniacal performance in it. He's got a lot of range in that movie. He's a nice guy and mean guy and stuff like that. And we all have to maybe think about this. He can get a little tired of Evil Dead 2.
I could see that. See that.
Yeah, like it's basically for you, it would be like if people gravitated toward one shirt design you've done in your life. Out of all those shirts are like, well, and this happens to me sometimes and might happen to you a little bit too, but are gravitates toward one song.
Yeah.
For me that I've done, which that is kind of true. We do have a hit that we can't not play. Fragile Porcelain Mice. So, but he's very excited. I mean, he's very excited that Intruder was going to get some justice or just rewards there, stuff,
it should, as it should. And it should Danny. And not because he's my good friend. No. And that I owe him $20. But no, he does. Danny deserves all the accolades, You owe
that motherfucker $20. He's probably staring your window right now. Next to Dead Dick Hammer in the bushes.
Right. I heard some heavy breathing.
Well, they were getting personal. They're getting friendly together while they're waiting. It's cold outside, Ben Harley. You live up in Canada or north of or whatever.
Yeah, Danny's out front peering through the window, foggy windows, and the camera's out back. So
fogging up the other side of the window. So, speaking of all that, so that'll be again in Cleveland, Ohio, Retro Invasion Weekend. Look up Vet City Con and Retro Invasion Weekend. We will be at both establishments. I do believe a Retro Invasion Weekend. Now, Tim and Harley's show will be there, but I think that's going to be a little bit of a potentate of hate. Might have some of is there going to be a Circus of Pain sighting there?
There's going to be a Circus of Pain sighting, yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, look out for those guys.
I better get my lawyer outfit on just so I don't get punched.
Yeah. You better look like a lawyer, and you better have your. We need you to have your docket.
I've always got my docket. My docket's always with me. So,
oh boy.
So we got those coming up, and then Mr. Ben Harley.
A good time.
It is. And then speaking of the Potentate of Hate, you have a wrestling show coming up this week as this airs. So the Friday after Christmas, which would be the 28th.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then that's St. Clement's Hall again.
St. Clement's Hall. This is a Friday night. Usually we do the Sunday nights.
Yeah.
My personal view, and probably the Potentates as well, is that. I'm excited, but I think that Friday nights will be a good thing. We'll see. It's after Christmas, people, in between that and New Year's, but who knows?
Right.
Wrestling fans are pretty loyal, and I've already had talked with some people who are coming.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good time, Timo, and we'll see. Like, we're taking on we, not me. Those guys, those dreaded, unpleasant circuits of pain. Those fellas are taking on history in the making.
Okay.
A couple nerds.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get a paintbrushing they deserve, pal. So let me tell you.
They're like the Bob Rosses of wrestling, is what you're saying.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Yep. They're going to get some seasons beatings from the Circus of Pain.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So you got that.
It's going to look good, let me tell you.
But you got that coming up, and then we Fragile Porous Mice just announced a show February 2nd at Delmar Hall in downtown St. Louis, right? Actually connected almost right next door to the pageant where we just play with the Urge. Same company, same folks from both places or whatever. Delmar is pretty cool. It's a 750 seat club, so that's a good big size club. Not too big, but it still looks really neat when you're doing it. It's a lot of fun.
Exactly.
So we have our pals, Super Fun Rocket Ship. I think you would like these guys, Mr. Ben Harley. You might want to make the trip just for these guys. They're kind of like a cross between Will Ferrell, Ween, the Aquabats.
Ooh, all right.
And Weird Al.
All right.
It's two guys. And one of their hit songs is Macho Man Randy Savage. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's two guys. Yeah. It's this
like fun.
Yeah, it's like this new wave of like Sesame Street rock. It's really like so rated G that it's hilarious.
Yeah.
They put big cardboard cutouts of like Fabio on stage and stuff like that while they're playing, and they're very flamboyant and stuff. Yeah. And then they get off stage and they're nice guys that'll have like a Meisterbrow with you, but people I'm telling you, man, we love them, and there's a portion of our crowd that hates them. They hate them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I spent a lot of time defending them online. I don't defend shit online. I spent a lot of time defending them. Like, look, you're not asking you to take them serious. Come on.
No, exactly. That's when it takes the fun out of it when people do that,
Right. Well, I think people expect a headbanger or like a pit going on. It's like, no, these guys are. So I'm trying to explain to people, do you not understand that that's kind of why we do it, for do something different, to have something fun, So, but we got them coming. That'll be fun. They're fun. We'll put up a chicken wire in front of the stage if they have any issues or whatever. I might go out there and just punch people in the head personally, though.
Attaboy, there you go.
I have gotten up on stage before and scolded our crowd for yelling at our openers.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
Like, shut up. Man,
I've gone up there and said, hey, we asked these guys to play. I literally went up on stage at Mississippi Nights one time, had a beer in my hand. I had like a 70s coat on. Looked like I was like, I don't know. I looked like I was in Staying Alive or something, because I was hip, man. I was cool. I was retro, blonde hair and shit. Yeah, white, whatever. So I get up on stage and I'm like, hey. I mean, they were being heckled. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't want to say who it is because I didn't like him either. But we knew them and we did a couple shows with them. They're kind of a boring rock band. So I get up there and go, hey, we just did 2 nights with these guys. You could at least show them some respect. You know what I did? I totally Tim-O'd them. I said, hey, we've been telling these guys for 2 days what a cool kick-ass crowd we have. You're going to make liars out of us? That changed the whole dynamic of the show. So I probably won't do that unless there's chicken wire up this time. But, I don't have my outfit to do it in. Also, Mr. Ben Harley, so they're going to be up first.
Okay.
And then Snake Ranch. Snake Ranch is playing. This is Rob Wagner on bass.
Snake Ranch, yes.
Mark Sova on the guitar. Mark Sova was in Bent with Rob Wagner.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then see Greg Kessler, otherwise known as Frog. That's his name, Frog. He's our singer. Jim Bone, he's the other guitar player. And then our good pal Jim Harper, he's on drums. These guys are our heroes.
The Skins.
Yeah. The first band I think I really ever saw like that wasn't on TV or something was at a Snake Ranch practice. Believe it or not. Yeah. So we go back with those guys, and I was like 16.
That's going to be fun.
I was like 16, I guess. So they were basically like the first band I knew. Like the first band that was playing in clubs and stuff. They're a few years older than me, so they were kind of doing stuff that the big guys were doing that I couldn't do yet and stuff.
And they were kick ass.
They were kick ass. They were very kick ass.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. Very influential to me personally.
Big Rob Wagner fan myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So we got that stuff going on. And it's going to be the radio station around here, The Point, KPNT, The Point. It's going to be their birthday show.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know this, but The Point and the people at the club knew this. We've gotten so old, Ben Harley. The people that hold the keys to the kingdom of entertainment in St. Louis are old fans.
All right.
They were the kids coming to see us. Now they're running the show. Now they want to have us at their personal shows, and stuff. I'm in. I'm fine. I'll take the love. I'll take it. So they figured out that February 2nd is 25 years to the day that we released our first CD.
Wow.
They told me that because I kind of handle our business stuff. And they told me that. I said, I'll believe you. I believe you. I don't even know what year it was, man. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, okay, so we figured it out. And if February 2nd was the exact date you guys did your first release of this record, we do have that date open. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with my eyes open going, how much?
How much are we talking?
How much money are we talking about here? So, but no,
25 years,
inflation, baby. Yeah,
that's right.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. It's good to have. We usually try to get the radio station to back the shows we do because we're too old to advertise. So we need somebody to do it for us anymore.
Yeah.
But no, it's gonna be a good time. So we got rock and roll, we got rock and wrestling going on.
Rock and roll.
We've got a couple conventions going on. We got let's see, Christmas right here. We're on it. We're like standing on it basically. We got it's a full plate.
A lot of stuff going on.
Plate. Yes. Absolutely.
That's right.
Got a few things here that I watched this week. Let's run through these real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. First up, Mr. Ben Harley from 2002.
Ooh.
On Amazon.
That is almost a feature for you.
On Amazon Prime. Watch the movie Dahmer, as in Jeffrey Dahmer, starring Jeremy Renner.
I don't think I've seen that one. Well, maybe not.
I don't like the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Now, look, I know I'm
a Cuban story.
I know I'm Cuban. I'm not supposed to like the story. But it's just so like, they're all icky.
Yeah,
but this one's like a different kind of ick. It's
awful.
I don't know.
I did see a little documentary here recently on that was a little bit more informative. Whether you liked it or not, and which I was plenty enough for me. Right. So is the movie? Is it I don't know.
It's just a little.
I think
Jeffrey
I've seen
Dahmer
that for
movie.
some odd reason.
Well, I think it made the rounds at least on the video shelves. Remember 2002. Yeah. It made the rounds and it didn't have a good cover. It just had Jeremy Renner's face at Dahmer across the front of it. It didn't have a very good cover, and Jeremy Renner wasn't really. He wasn't Jeremy Renner yet. So this movie's like, okay, it's not like super, super low budget. I think Bruce Davison plays his dad. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to see it. It's like, it just wasn't that great. It was okay. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but it was just kind of like, it's just hard to make an entertaining movie out of that story.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
It's having you over for dinner.
Don't tell me about that.
You look so delectable.
Yeah. Moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Moving on.
Yeah.
See, from 2017, believe it or not.
Yes. You really pushing the limits, Tim.
Well, I watched the French movie.
Oh boy.
Cold Ground, it's called.
Okay.
They're in I thought this was going to be a Bigfoot movie or a Yeti movie. They're in the French. They're in the French Alps, and they're researchers that are looking for missing and mutilated cattle. Okay. But it takes place in the 1970s, which I like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I guess, an international cast, or some of it's spoken in English, some of it's spoken in French. kind of goes back and forth. So you're reading subtitles and sometimes you're listening, which sometimes that can be more disconcerting than just reading subtitles, because you're reading the subtitles, you're not really listening to the voice, and all of a sudden the subtitles disappear. You don't recognize English anymore. You're like, I don't know what it's saying. That's English, Tim. Well, I don't know. Yeah, so I thought it was going to be like a Yeti movie. It's actually a mountain overrun by werewolves. But
are they snow wolves?
Yes. They don't technically say what they are, but if you look, I'm like, that's a werewolf. I mean, you know what a werewolf looks like. So they're at least monster people wolves, you know, maybe instead, but they're werewolves, right?
Okay.
It's kind of goofy. There's like out of place references to like climate change. 1970s. It takes place in the 1970s.
That's when they were saying the world was cooling, right? We were going through another ice age.
Yeah, but that's not what they were referring to in this one. They're referring to it warming up, I guess. So,
well, why not?
One girl refers to her boyfriend as her partner. So there's like a lot of like new age speak, which is ridiculous stuff mostly to be. Look, it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, get over it. You know, or whatever, you know. So there's a lot of that silliness coming out. And then, not to mention, this is a found footage film. Hey, where the hell did the gear come from? Some short guy in a fucking DeLorean? I mean, but anyway, it's frustratingly slow, believe it or not, and boring. Yeah, I mean, and it's in a great setting, and the monsters are really cool.
Yeah, it's wondering how those look pretty good.
Yeah, for the glimpses you see them, because it's found footage, so they get away with it by throwing the camera across the field and stuff, you know, and just swinging around that rope and everything. It's pretty disappointing. It's called Cold Ground. If you want to try it, go ahead. There's a lot of walking around the woods reading subtitles, and I mean, I thought it was a Yeti movie probably up to the last 15 minutes or so. I can't remember it. I'll put it that way. I don't remember when they showed up, and I remember thinking, God, why am I bored? Mr. Ben Harley. I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm going to get something here I wrote down here. Too. This is a little tidbit here. I was actually going to, I think, send you a video of this. So 2017, we're watching a found footage movie. You know, I got a problem with movies that are coming out these days, right? And I always say there's just something about them I can't take. So at a Christmas party, I get some Blu-rays like I do every year. So a couple of them were from the movie Anthropophagus, if you remember. You did review that, correct? The Grim Reaper?
Yes. Yeah.
So George Eastman, the guy that plays the Grim Reaper, he's in a bunch of those like Gladiators 2028 movies, you know, The Fall of New York 2029, the Italian Mad Max ripoffs. He's in a bunch of those. He's usually the big bad guy with the beard. You would know him if you saw him, okay? I don't know his Italian name, but his stage name is George Eastman. So I popped these movies in just to see how the transfer's going, and they have special features. I've seen these movies before. I just want to see special features. I like to see what they talk about. So George Eastman, they have this long interview with him. It's mildly entertaining. It's okay. But then they start talking about, what are you doing now? He's like, and he says, well, he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, I was asked here recently to do a movie, and it was going to be a big role. It was going to be made for television. And so now George Eastman's a writer and a producer and everything. He did everything, but they offered him a gig. He said, what is it? And they said, you play the father of a daughter who's got hooked on heroin. And he goes, whoa, right there. And this is quoting, fuck that. Wow. He said, where is the imagination in films anymore? Where is the trip that it takes you on? He said, the problems that I want to escape are not the ones that interest me to be in a film. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's it. He's got it. I've been trying to articulate it, and the fucking Grim Reaper figured it out. Right. With some spaghetti. You know, I'm like, but he's right. And I actually videotaped, it's like a minute-long clip. I'm going to send it to you. I just forgot, but I'm going to send it to you. It's a minute-long clip I just taped up my phone on the TV. And it's subtitles, so you don't even have to hear it. You can read it. He's speaking Italiano. And it was perfect, though. He said films today have lost the magic. They're so mired in realism, you have no escapism anymore.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, George Eastman, Luigi Castelli, whatever it is. I don't know what his name. I can't. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's. It might be Luigi. Actually, I don't know. But anyway, no,
that's great. Yeah, exactly. Though, and it's the truth anymore. It's just my thing is too. I don't like Timo sitting around here at work watching television shows about work. I don't. I turn it off, man. I'm not going to sit here and watch a bunch of other people be stressed out.
Right.
Why, man? Sorry.
It's cheap to show. It's cheap to show people. That's the problem. You don't have to have
why? When you want to go to a movie, you want that. Yeah, you want that escapism. You know. Absolutely. I don't want to go hear about somebody else's problems all the time. Just let me have some fun. Let me get away from mine just for a minute. Just let me feel like I'm Superman.
Right.
Like the Iron Giant said, Superman. I want to feel like Superman. Exactly.
Right, yeah. So, exactly. But Cold Ground again. So that reminded me of that. Because, and I'm not saying that Cold Ground was like that necessarily. It was taking place in the 70s, but some of the stuff they were saying, it's like, my God, now I know what the old folks thought about us when we were kids. I mean, really, seriously, it's like, oh no, I get it. I get it. Damn it. So anyway, moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. I just wanted to, from 1983, I watched a really uplifting film, Mr. Ben Harley, the one that just made me want to run around and sing and dance. The Day After. Oh boy. The Day After.
Ooh. Yikes.
Nuclear Holocaust epic.
Yeah. Opus epic.
Yes. That had the balls to star Steve Guttenberg. And Jason Robards in the same movie.
Oh yeah. So, make me some Jason Robards.
I got it on Blu-ray, so I went back and looked at it. I actually watched the European theatrical version, which is 5 minutes longer. I couldn't tell you a damn thing they added. I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I know that movie fairly well, and I just was like, I don't know what they added. I'm not sure. Maybe a little extra carnage, but I'm not sure. A sobering film. I think it's
very much so. Yeah, especially when it came out. People have to think about when that movie came out and the people that watched it, man. And, at that time it was like
the most watched thing in television history at that point. I think it might still be. I'm not sure, but I mean, it was up there with V. Anytime the world was in danger, we all watched. Pretty much. But I do remember when this was on television. I mean, parents let their kids stay up late to watch it, and then right after, I don't know if you remember when it aired, but right afterwards, they had like the Russian and the United States ambassadors like on television. At the same time, they had to sit there and watch it with like Peter Jennings or some bullshit. They had to sit there and watch it with them and then get grilled as soon as the film was done live. This was all happening live on television. And I'll tell you what, I told Angie, I said, because me and her watched it, I said, I'm pretty sure this movie saved our lives.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it saved our lives. I said, because everybody watched it and realized there's no winners in that kind of nuclear war. Now, that kind of nuclear war, people have to also understand, is the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not, most of the time, in the real world, you're not going to launch 500 ballistic missiles at another country. Is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
For what?
It was scary back then. It was. I remember being in school. I had to go to summer school one year for a class, take one class.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, and it was history, and believe it or not, the gentleman the teacher was awesome, and it made me become more of a history fan. But we learned about World War II, and then we learned about nuclear holocaust.
Oh, okay, basically. Gotcha. Right.
And we did like a whole thing, like if a bomb would hit in the radius.
Sure.
He even had some chart, I swear to God, that it said like how many missiles were pointed at like New York, and even Toledo was on the map for so many, because we had so many, the railways and the waterways and Jeep. Yep. All that,
Jeep. What's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base isn't that far away from you guys, right? We got Scott Air Force Base right here in our backyard too, so we're wiped out too. Yep.
Yeah, and it just was like scary. It was very scary at the time, I didn't really ever think it would happen. I just didn't. But
no, I didn't either. But at the same time, but back then though, you didn't know.
There was
you were
stuff we
scared.
didn't really know about either. That was going on behind the scenes, too,
right?
So scary times. But you know what? Hey, if it was to happen, Timo, we'd have a lot of neon, and we'd be wearing a lot of leather and like
It takes place in Lawrence, Kansas. The film does, and Angio.
That's not far from you, is it?
Well, it's like 5.5, 6 hours away. It's an hour west of Kansas City, basically. Maybe 45 minutes, an hour west of Kansas City. Angio grew up in Wichita, Kansas, which is not Lawrence, but it's in the neighborhood, and. And I played a lot of music in Lawrence, so it's kind of like we just watched it for familiar terrain. And
that's cool.
I mean, I was looking at some of the city landscape shots, some of the overhead shots. I'm like, yep, that's Lawrence, Kansas. All right. That's definitely Lawrence, Kansas. But yeah, so no, it was interesting to watch. It's been a little while since I've seen it. It's a great movie. It is. Yeah. It is. So it's been a little while since I've seen it. I had it on DVD,
Me too.
Though. But you can't say it's a great movie or a terrible movie. It's just there. It's what it is.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. So, let's see. Moving on. I couldn't just let the world. I couldn't let the world blow up just once, Mr. Ben Harley. So for some ungodly reason, I decided to pull out my shiny Blu-ray of the movie 2012.
Oh, okay.
And watch The End of the World chase John Cusack and his family around.
And what do you think?
It's too long. That movie's too long. I think that's a problem with it. And it's like every little cotton picking thing has to have a snafu or a snag going on. It's like, oh, for God's sake, it's a little drawn out. I did notice Stephen McHattie. He plays like the captain of the Ark at the end. I don't know if have you seen 2012?
No.
Oh, okay. So. Okay. So he plays, one of humanity's rescue ship's captains. So that's kind of a spoiler, but by the time you get in this movie, you'll forget everything I just said.
Right, exactly.
It's a spectacle to look at. To me, the coolest thing is the giant tsunamis. Okay. Those scare the hell out of me. When you see a Tibetan,
nothing you can do.
Yeah,
that's what you can do.
When you have a shot in a movie with a Tibetan monk sitting high on the mountaintop and his little sanctuary monastery looking dealy thing, and he's like he's got a couple of chimes in his finger, and he looks over the Himalayan mountains, and there is a tidal wave towering over them, coming toward him.
Oh my God!
You're looking at something you've probably never seen before. So, and what does he do? He gets up and starts gonging a bell. But it's okay. It's way overly soupy dramatic, like soap opera dramatic, and it's too long, and everybody's stereotyped. It's just everybody is stereotyped. To the point where, and I know I'm not saying even it's like the normal stereotype. It's just that in this movie, in this world, X kind of person is stereotyped to do this. X kind of person is stereotyped to do that. X kind of person is stereotyped to do that. So let's put everybody in a neat little pocket, and then claim everyone else is stereotyping. Okay. Moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Moving on. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Two more.
What you got, bud?
I think one you might want to speak on a little bit, so I'm going to go to this one first here. From 1958, Mr. Ben Harley. Ooh, I love you from 1958.
Yeah.
Watched Fiend Without a Face.
Fiend Without a Face.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Well, brain monsters. Nice. Invisible brain monsters for most of it.
Invisible.
Starring Marshall Thompson from It, the Terror from Beyond Space.
Okay. Did we review Fiend Without a Face?
Yes, we did. It's the one. Yes, they're like in a Canadian. It's a Canadian military type thing, and they're stuck in like a cabin or like a place out in the woods, and they're getting menaced.
That's right.
Yes, almost menaced in a style of the Killer Shrews, but this time by stop motion brain monsters that move them. They use locomotion by pushing themselves along by their spinal cords. Right.
That's right.
Now, let's see. Directed by Arthur Crabtree. Arthur Crabtree. Who did Horrors of the Black Museum, co-starring it's for a Christmas show, Miss Ben Harley, starring Terry Kilburn. And I'm going to tell you this, Mr. Ben Harley, because this is one of the most proud moments I've had in at least 2 days.
Okay.
I have a lot of proud moments. I'm a proud guy. I got zero ego, zero arrogance. It's all pride. All right. Meaning no, ego and arrogance is when you don't deserve it. I do. How's that for a little millennial speak for you? I'm watching this movie, and Marshall Thompson's his like sidekick, his aide, his other military guy, okay, is speaking his lines. He's doing his thing. And I'm looking at this guy going, and I'm going to send you the mental journey. This is how I figured this stuff out. I'm looking at this guy going, God, that guy could almost be Peter Lorre's kid. So I start there. I start there and I start looking at him. I go, wait a minute. And I kept looking and I looked real slow over to Angie and I go, that is fucking Tiny Tim from A Christmas Carol. The one who says, I want to stroke it. Give me the beast. I want to stroke the beast.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I looked it up and I was right. And he just looked at me like that was wrong. Like you shouldn't know that. Like that's not right to even. And you didn't know. You picked it out of your mind. You just knew that was that guy.
Yeah.
Ben Harley. That was 20 years later. He was a military guy in this movie. He wasn't Tiny Tim anymore, you know? I was pretty proud of myself.
That's awesome.
And I told Angel, look, that scene is part of movie history to me.
I want to stroke it.
Oh, God. And I'm going to watch it again because we watch it almost every year. I haven't gotten any Christmas stuff yet, except one of our official films this year.
Okay. Yeah, I watched one, my friend.
Okay, we'll get to it.
I got one to talk.
We'll get to it. I got one more here for you. One more. I just wanted to mention that. I was pretty excited about the Terry Kilburn thing. I wanted to stroke him. When I saw him, I wanted to stroke him. So the last time Mr. Ben Harley just pulled this one out of a hat like a rabbit. All right? 1981. 1981.
The best.
That's right. We gave tribute to the Mad Trapper himself.
Oh, yeah?
Of the Yukon.
Did Death Hunt?
Did Death Hunt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And did you enjoy it?
Hell yeah, I did. I always enjoy that movie.
I know. I just had to ask.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah. No, it was great. So we had a good time watching it. I did that movie just... I got a question for you. I have a question for you. Did you used to watch that movie? What did you used to call them a Showtime special? Now, did your family have Showtime and HBO, or did they just have
just
one?
Showtime. Okay. Showtime. I remember we had the little box. You walk up and push the button.
We had that too, but we had it for HBO. So let me ask you another question then. Did you catch Death Hunt on television? Is that how you got to know it?
No, I think I caught that on Showtime, buddy.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Did you catch it on? Did you catch it on cable
I didn't
television?
See that in the theater. No, I wasn't.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Do you remember? It was a movie that played a lot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
On television. On HBO, Showtime, whatever, the pay channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you also remember watching it during the day?
Yeah, I think so.
It's rated R.
Yes.
I did not know that. I thought that movie was rated PG my entire life. I'm sitting there watching it and they're saying fuck, they're doing this. I'm like, man, this is a hard PG.
There's some sexy, sensual
well,
Eskimo stuff going on.
She's a hottie, Miss Ben Harley. You know, I like the curves.
Yes,
I like curves. I don't necessarily like slopes. Okay, let's put it that way. But no, I was getting real irritable watching the movie because I know I used to watch this on paid television too. I don't know if it was HBO, Showtime. They would jump back and forth sometimes. And I'm like, I know I saw this like during the day though. Now, when we were kids, they weren't allowed to show rated R movies during the day on paid television. They saved that for the evening. They wouldn't edit their films, but they would show PG movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I'm wrong with Showtime because we had HBO first. And we had HBO probably in 81, 82, 83, something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong about that. And maybe Showtime was different. Showtime was the Wild West and they would play whatever any time of the day. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was PG.
I think it might have. I do remember. Well, there was a lot of stuff on during the day that was kind of risky, I guess. I think so.
Well, maybe Showtime was a little more libertine.
I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm.
Okay, so people listening right now are going, how the hell is he going to remember that? And then Harley's going, why are you asking me this, man? I don't even remember my phone number from then. What are you talking about? It
was a little hazy, real haze. There's been a lot of hazes in my life.
Right. But I'm good about that stuff. Like, I remember the sun being out when I was watching The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper on HBO, okay? I remember this stuff. I remember watching Midnight Madness on television. I remember watching when I got home from school. I remember the channels I was watching this stuff on, and this one threw me off.
I think this did play during the day because these were the one movies that would always keep me in, you know, and I was an outdoor kid.
Yeah.
But when stuff like this would come on, or White Buffalo or something, Orca, whatever, I was there.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it had to have.
Okay.
But what a gem of a movie. I just love this movie. Oh, I love it. You know, there's a couple parts in this film that will always be iconic to me.
Right. What a movie, Mr. Benner. What you got? What you got? I've been going along here. What you got?
I don't think I got Death Hunt, man.
God damn, no Death Hunt.
How am I going to catch up with that one?
You've got Death Hunt at home. Yeah. You have to have Death Hunt at home.
Yes, I do.
know I gave you Death Hunt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it, but I didn't watch it. So I'm going
to top
watch
that. It's time to watch it.
Yes. Well, Timo, I haven't got to see a whole heck of a lot, but I've watched a few things. Okay. One thing, this is the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. The word Christmas, there's a crisis in the word Christmas. So there's a lot of stuff going on, Okay, Timo, keeping in the Christmas spirit. So I have watched Frosty and Rudolph with my daughter, Sydney.
Oh, okay.
She's kind of enjoyed it. She liked Frosty a lot. We've watched Rudolph was a little bit long, but we've watched it.
She didn't join the clan or anything after watching Rudolph.
No, well,
okay, so she's safe.
No, she's a little whiter than usual. But
she is your kid.
No, that's because she got into the baby powder the other day. Came out of the bedroom with white face. Right. I thought she turned ghost. I kind of got scared for a minute. I didn't know she was going to attack me.
I'm Daddy. I'm Daddy.
I was a little perplexed by it.
Right.
Also, sticking with that tradition, she also got into her mom's makeup and made herself an eyebrow monster.
I saw that. You sent me a picture. That's a perfect eyebrow monster.
Oh, and she took, and you really couldn't see it, but dumped a thing of glitter down the front of her too. She did a hell of a job. I will say
she could have taken Bud Westmore's job at Universal after Jack Pierce left. Yeah,
she looked scarier than most of those eyebrow monsters we've witnessed. Definitely. So, but okay, yeah. So we've watched a couple of those. Now there's one, Timo, that correct me if I'm wrong or not, but it's one that never really aired a whole heck of a lot, and I think I know why. And it's called Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July.
Oh God! Oh, I call that my third acid trip. Yeah.
Oh man, talk about long. I think that's about as long as Killing Jesus was. It's almost 3 hours long too. It's long.
Mm-hmm.
And now I do remember bits and pieces of it, and I know I've seen it over the years and stuff like that, but. That's an odd one.
Yes.
Very odd. And I think it's not a good one. Like they, there's like, and it's not the Winter Warlock, but it's another guy like him, like this wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And he's jealous of Rudolph because he is the one that sent the blizzard to stop Christmas, and Rudolph saved Christmas.
Right.
And then Frosty and Rudolph hook up, and then the guy gives Frosty an amulet of some sort because it's got, all right. Frosty's got his wife and his 2 kids in it, and he gives them an amulet so that they can go down and spend Christmas in July at like a carnival or
just
circus.
Just stop.
And then, it's long and drawn out. There's, Big Ben makes his, he comes back though. The whale, he shows up in it. No Egon. No Egon.
No.
But there's a lady that has the biggest boobs I've ever seen on a woman, and she's the ringmaster. She rides an ostrich, I think, at one point. I don't know, Timo. It's very bizarre, but it's slow. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And it's got that really weird. God, what's the root? The other reindeer. Oh my God, I forget his name.
Donner?
But he's like a bad guy in it, and he's like a little creep.
Oh I know you're talking about.
And I forget who does his voice. It's another famous actor. Gosh, I can't think.
Well, that show is on.
I'm getting all worked up.
That show's. I think it's streaming on Netflix or on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, it might be.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, that it's definitely one of the oddball ones. There was especially really? As they went on. They just got weirder and weirder and like what? But as a kid, you always watched them.
Year.
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
Shiny New Year. I like that one.
Yeah, it's okay.
Rudolph Shiny New Year. That's a good one. That's got some crazy stuff in it. And but yeah, this is just bizarro. Oh my gosh, off the rails, bizarre.
I know Jack Frost is streaming too on Amazon.
Oh,
that's a weird one too.
Yeah,
that's a weird one.
Yeah,
so.
So Christmas in July. So I'll get back to you in July and I'll watch it again.
Okay. I was going to say you should have watched it in July. Yeah.
Yes.
July 4th.
So, all right, Timo, last but not least, something I know you've been wanting me to watch for a long time, and I finally got to finish watching it, and it is the movie X-Men First Class.
There you go.
Yeah. Boo, hiss. No, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. So I got to watch it the other day. It's kind of a longer film, so I watched it in 2 parts.
Sure.
I like this movie, Tim. It's good. I have seen bits and pieces of it, so it was on TV, so it was cool to go and watch it, all as one. I like this movie, Timo. And I do get what you're saying as far as I think it's one of Marvel's better films, if not the best one I've seen by Marvel. I like the tone of it.
Yeah.
It's a little darker tone, but the subject matter they're dealing with, nuclear war, things like that, and concentration camps, there's no real fun way of doing that.
No.
So,
but it's more about it's more comic booky because
I think so.
It's more about the heroes and what they're going to do about the situation and coming together to do it and stuff. It's a little, I don't know. That's just what I got out of it. It was more.
I liked the story.
Yeah,
I thought the story was really cool. Yeah. And I thought Kevin Bacon, I applauded him. Man. That's great.
He's good.
It's so good to see him do different roles. And he plays a good bad guy in this film. Really, really good. I pretty much liked everybody in it. Now, I guess the only things, I liked 75% of this movie. I loved it. You know, there's a little bit, me. They did some of the suits. I was happy with that. I was a little mad with the one guy saying, we got to put this stuff on. Yeah, put it on, dummy. Put that suit on right now. Yeah.
Well, they're trying. They do look a little goofy.
I know.
If you're burglaring a house and Wonder Woman came in, would you run or go, hey, what's up?
I say, hey now. Hey now.
Right. I mean, so there's.
Time you up.
Yeah.
Force me to tell the truth. I get it. Yeah. But, I liked a lot of it. There was some really, really good things. I guess some of the parts that I don't really like, and it's backstory stuff. They have to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have to.
Right.
So, I guess my problem is I'm not a big X-Men fan.
No, me neither. Actually, I'm not either. I just thought it was a good movie, man. My point, I love
Magneto.
Yes.
I'm a huge Magneto fan. The guy who played him, I thought, was really good. I think the way that things worked out at the end was a different twist and stuff like that. I liked the whole Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, that's what
part
I'm saying.
Of it was kind of cool too, and I enjoyed it. I really thought it was a good. It's one of them that I want to go back and I'll watch again.
I think I just sent you Days of Future Past or whatever. I do believe that's like the companion film to it. I get the X-Men movies are so difficult to try to keep up with. I mean, it's like the Avengers movies on some level, but I think the X-Men movies were better. They were more controlled films.
Yeah.
But the thing with me with the First Class, it's just a great movie. It's just a great story. It's a great movie. It just happens to have the X-Men in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about it. I really liked that. And then it's like
an espionage film type. Which is cool. I liked it. And
the Jim Croce part, I'm going to mention it again. I'm going to mention the Jim Croce part. I love that part. That was great.
Yeah.
But all that stuff with Magneto and everything, man, I thought was fascinating. And how do you make that interesting? Well, they just showed you. They just did it. I mean,
right.
I was just really impressed.
Well, he jumps right on the Magneto trip real fast, don't he? But hey, he had the suit, didn't he?
He did have the suit.
He looked like Magneto. Damn it.
He did. Well, I'm glad you're getting into. Glad you're watching. It only took you about 4 or 5 years. No problems whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm
didn't listen to me. Kept watching stuff like I don't know what.
Ragnarok.
Watching all of that other stuff. And I'm like, no, you need to see these movies. Need to see
that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'll give you that. It was good.
All right. Okay. Let's get to our official films, Mr. Ben Harley.
All right,
our Christmas official films. But let's go in opposite order so we can end with a Christmas bang. How about that? So,
okay, sure.
So first up, Mr. Ben Harley, this week we have from 1991, we have the film The Unborn.
The Unborn.
The Unborn.
Yikes.
Yes. Produced by Roger Corman, of course.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. Yes. From the horror film No Man's Land of 1991. This movie's a pretty good example of why that is. Let me get you out movie guy here and do a real short storyline synopsis. So here we go. A couple struggling to conceive visit a miracle doctor as a last hope for having a child. The wife gets pregnant, but after the initial joy comes horror as she slowly discovers the nightmarish truth behind the doctor's success. Ooh. Okay, so the movie stars Brooke Adams from, my favorite, Shockwaves. And the 70s invasion of the body snatchers, Dead Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. We got James Karen from the Return of the Living Dead movies. So he plays the evil doctor guy. Yeah.
He's a sweetheart. You leave him alone.
Yeah. Let's see. Kathy Griffin from recent political fevers.
Yes. Yeah. Psycho comic. Yeah.
Lisa Kudrow. Did you notice her?
Yeah, that's right.
The receptionist at the fertility clinic. Yes. And so we got a little cast going on here. And directed by, I'm just glad I wasn't named this, directed by Rodman Flender.
Rodman Flender.
Yes, who did Idle Hands, which I actually kind of liked Idle Hands. I thought it was okay. Okay movie. Like the synopsis storyline movie guy said. Brooke Adams and her husband, they're apparently having problems conceiving a baby. They go see one of these scientist guys that can give them a baby. And of course, once she gets pregnant, she starts having hallucinations. Weird shit starts going on. And something's wrong with the baby. Something's not right. Yes. It's not the first time we've seen a story like this. Yeah. So it's basically like a 1991 version of It's Alive. No way. A little more extensive story and stuff, but pretty close to that. This, again, came out in 91. This is right in the middle of the VHS made-for-video boom and all that. Yeah. So this came out in that era that you and I speak about a lot of times. We weren't real happy with horror films coming out around here. So I'm going to start there, kind of hand it off to you. Have you seen this one before?
No, Tim.
All right. Well,
this is one I've heard of, and I've probably walked away from at the video store. So, I immediately was thinking of It's Alive. Not that it's taken away from this film, whatever, but that was kind of my immediate thing. This one's okay as far as like the premise and what was her name again? The lead actress,
Brooke Adams.
Yeah, she's not too bad in this. At first, I didn't really like her, but I thought as the movie went on, she got better and better. And I cared for her a little. Timo, I felt for her. Come on, she had a vampire bat inside of her, some kind of something.
Yeah,
but there's some weird stuff in this film, but kind of weird, good, I guess.
Yeah.
The whole Kathy Griffith thing and like her girlfriend and the Lamaze class thing, not Lamaze.
Right.
Holistic something or another.
Right.
Because I'm a male and I shouldn't be speaking on such things.
That
was kind of funny.
They were two like very over the top, stereotypical, militant feminists. Who had this class. It was like a Lamaze class for women. Men weren't allowed to come. Men weren't allowed to come. No. And they were only allowed to come when the babies were being conceived. They weren't allowed to do that
they weren't allowed to attend.
Right. I do like how the movie handles them. I mean, I think it handles them with the you're fine until you went over the top, and then somebody said something to you, which that's the way life should be.
Yeah.
To each their own, unless you get up in my mix, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's what's going on. So
so basically things start to unravel for her and one of her friends who's also has went to the same doctor,
same fertility doctor. Yeah. These women are all they're all connected by going to the same clinic.
Yes,
basically.
And things start to unravel, and her friend kind of starts looking into the doctor, and then she starts having problems. And there's a couple of hardcore parts in this film. I was like, wow,
Right.
I guess not to get too off track, Timo, but there's also like a friend of the main couple in the film. They have a daughter, and a son, like a son with special needs, but then they have a daughter who was also conceived through this fertility doctor, right?
Yes.
And she's super smart and
dangerous,
super creepy.
Yeah, super smart, super homicidal.
She kills the brother, like her older brother, the special needs brother. And man, what a creep that little kid is.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish they would have used her a little bit more, maybe in the film. She was a creepazoid robot, man. She was.
See, Ben Harley, you can't say this, but I turned, because we give birth to different genders.
Yes,
and we're gender-specific sperm donors, right?
Yes,
is that what we're called these days? It's just 2018. I looked over at Angie. I said, "See, that's why I don't have the ability to give girls. Girls are creepy, man."
Wow, yeah, man. So, but they so you really start to it's not like you're left in the dark as a viewer as what's kind of happening, which I kind of liked a little bit too,
Right.
So you're just kind of along for the ride of her trying to find out what the hell's going on.
It's not a confusing movie. The baby can kind of take over her mind a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so there's all these different things where like the doctor is trying to give her like these CDs with new age music that actually has subliminal messages in it that the baby hears and stuff. The baby's always moving around. You can see it's like moving around.
Kill, destroy.
You can see the baby moving around her belly and stuff like that. Look, this movie's like, first of all, a little tidbit here. Gary Newman did the music for this, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed that at the beginning.
Yeah.
In car.
Yes. And so, but look, it's kind of like, I think everybody who's listening to this knows where this story is going. I mean, it's devil baby. It's a devil baby. and they, so unfortunately the thing I don't like about these movies is this, and this is a good example of this. These movies spend the whole time with the baby in the womb. What I do like about It's Alive is that It's Alive starts with the baby being born. And it's a damn bad baby. It's an ugly baby. It's a bad baby. Okay. So, but this movie stays in the womb.
Baby too.
But in this movie, the baby stays in the womb basically up until like the end. And so it's like a mildly interesting, like, okay, this isn't done bad, but it's like, all right, I know that there's something wrong with the baby. I get it.
Yeah.
And then just about when it loses any steam it may have at all, it just takes a massive U-turn and then pays off in a really wild way. But you got to get through that first, 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah.
Probably in order to get to it. Until the baby comes. And was that baby played by Vern Troyer? Too soon? Too soon. I did make that crack we were watching. I was like, hey, it's Vern Troyer. I didn't know he was in this. I know. I was being a bad baby myself.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
I was waiting for Joel to come crashing out of a closet naked and chase the baby around. Save the day.
Save the day.
Save the day.
Oh, man.
But when the baby comes, everything goes off the rails. Everything just goes crazy.
Well, there's some scenes too, like she tries to go to like an abortion clinic, whatever.
Yeah.
That's where Lisa Kudrow's at, right?
Lisa Kudrow is at the fertility clinic. She's James Cameron's receptionist.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
She was a brunette back then, actually.
Yeah, she was. That's right. And then, but yeah, like, she can't get one. And then like, there's a guy like in the actual like lobby of the place. He's like, I could take care of you. They go to like some back alley.
Yeah.
Abortion clinic.
Yeah. 1991 stereotypes again. Yeah.
They're like, exactly. Like, okay. Knock her out. They give her some chloroform. Oh man.
Hey lady, I got a wire hanger and I got a cardboard box. Want to come?
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds safe. You know, it's like, come on. You believe for a second she'd go with that dude?
No, that's what I kept thinking. There's no way. I kept thinking, you know. So, anyways, yeah, there's some weird stuff.
It's just the guy looks like he's just ready to commit crime. Like nothing else. Yeah. Nothing else
exactly.
at all. Yeah. And so now I guess what they were trying to do is to try to show her the lengths she would go through to get rid of the baby. Yeah. So she takes the baby to the abortion clinic run by Kane from the WWE.
Yeah.
Or maybe so, kind of did look like him a little bit when he was Isaac Yankem a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So, but they abort the baby, but that's not going to stop the bad baby.
Ooh, no, you're only going to make it angry,
right? I mildly liked this movie when it came out in '91 because there was stuff like Sleepwalkers coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mildly don't really like it anymore. I don't think this is a very good movie. I like the pieces of it.
Right.
I like some of the cast, and that's kind of kitsch to kind of look at the cast and see there's actually a cast of people that went on to do better things. You know? Except Brooke Adams. Brooke Adams was she always mired herself in a decent movie and did something like this or whatever. But I'll never forget her from Shockwaves. I mean, Shockwaves. Yeah, that was my flick. That was my thing. So, but I'm gonna. But hear that? Yeah. Listen. It's just a little too.
Yeah,
it's not it's not
more airy.
It's a little airy. I don't want to do that because I really didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I can't say I was disappointed in it because I already knew the movie. Yeah. The one thing I liked about the movie is they don't cheat at the end. And I do like the end is hilarious. I'll just put it that way. I mean, I was making, like I said, Vern Troyer jokes. I'm laughing at the bad ugly baby, wondering how the baby's getting to all these places doing stuff. I don't know, but I just didn't really like it. I mean, what I would do if you want to see this movie, it is streaming on Amazon. If you want to see this movie, I would just fast forward like the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Just go up to there and watch it, and just realize what happens before that. Is she can't have babies, evil
bad doctor,
an evil Dr. James Cairn working on that dreaded human genome project. What the hell? Do we have to have a conspiracy about everything? And
or if you really hate Kathy Griffin or whatever, Griffin.
Yeah,
you can always watch the part where she gets beat with a hammer.
Yeah, it's true.
Am I laughing at that?
It's true. Yeah,
tough scene though.
Scene. She gets it. So, but I don't like it as a movie. There's some really fun parts in it and stuff, but you got to really stretch to get to those parts. I mean, you really do. Acting is okay, everything's okay, and it's not terrible, but it's sort of a passable film for 1991, which really ain't saying too much.
Sure.
Really not saying too much. A very mild, but it's still a.
Right.
What do you think, Ben Harley?
No, I can't really poop on it, Timo. Now, Ben Harley, for what I like, I could go on it. But as far as a film, I got to give it a very, very, very.
You're all right with it. You're all right. You're okay with it. That's fine.
I thought it was okay. It's not something I'm going to watch again or recommend to anybody. But I don't know. It was all right.
Well, I think maybe it's the first time you've seen it, so that helps because the first time I saw it, it didn't go right exactly I expected it to and everything. This time I knew what was kind of coming, so it wasn't as entertaining to me at all. It was homework. It was basically homework a little bit, but it doesn't hold up for someone who's seen this a long time ago. Now, again, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. If you're bored, stoned, and you're sitting there, and you don't have anything else to watch, and you saw it before, go back and check it out again. I just thought it was kind of, so, but you're going to give a mild grape ape up. I'm going to give it a mild.
Yeah, very mild.
Yeah, so, okay.
Maybe a cigarette butt.
Let's get to our Christmas movie for the week. So here's a little surprise for everybody.
Christmas. Yeah.
Well, actually, if you saw us advertise this on Facebook or our website, it's not a surprise because we usually prominently show what we're reviewing. But this year, on Christmas from 1988, we're going to talk about the film Scrooged.
88?
Yeah. 88,
What a fine year.
Yes.
What a fine year.
Yep.
So, turned 18, graduated high school.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
Scrooge came out.
Scrooged, yes. Let me get you a movie guy out here. Not that we really need him, but let's just do it to keep with protocol. How about that? So,
yeah.
Here's movie guy for the short storyline synopsis for Scrooged.
Movie guy. We love movie guy.
A selfish, cynical television executive is haunted by 3 spirits bearing lessons on Christmas Eve. Okay.
That's
of
good. Of
course, stars Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Karen Allen. Now, see, Karen Allen and Brooke Adams, I always get confused. I've always gotten them confused since I was a kid. So, yes. So when I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, I thought, hey, it's a chick from Shockwaves.
Nope.
But I was wrong. I was morbidly wrong. Yeah. So anyway, so moving on here, we got let's see, got a little. Even John Forsythe plays a little role in this movie. Got Bobcat Goldthwait, Carol Kane, our dude Robert Mitchum. Yeah, Michael J. Pollard. Let's see here. It is. It's the Christmas Carol.
Bill Murray's brother.
Yeah, all of his brothers.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 of his brothers are in this movie. So it's basically a Christmas Carol with Bill Murray in it. He's a TV executive. He's not an old hermit miser.
Yeah.
As he is in the original story. I mean, okay. I think everybody's either seen Scrooge or know what it is. So how long has it been since you've seen this one, Ben Harley?
Oh, boy, it's been a while.
Really?
No, every so often I'll catch it, on TV around this time of year or something. But watching it all the way through, it's been a long time.
To me, the hook of this movie, not only is it Bill Murray running through the Scrooge mythos in his life, basically, but there's a lot of good, funny cameos in it. Lots of good, funny. There's more cameos in it than in a Sharknado movie almost. So there's lots of cameos. Here's you got Lee Majors. The thing is they have first of all, what I find kind of funny about the film or interesting about it is that Bill Murray his television station is going to run a big special live production of Scrooge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Of a Christmas Carol starring Buddy Hackett. As Scrooge,
I saw Buddy Hackett the other day, my friend. Something else too. I'm on a freak out right now.
And then John Houseman's reading, and Mary Lou Retton is Tiny Tim. I hope she don't stroke it. And then we have they have commercials of I guess movies that are out or they're going to be doing. One of them is Lee Majors in The Night the Reindeer Died.
That was awesome.
A Rambo type action film up at Santa's cottage or something. Let's see. We have the television program Father Loves Beaver.
Yes, that one.
And then my favorite out of the whole bunch is Robert Goulet's Cajun Christmas.
Yeah. It's got him going down in a boat down
wearing his tuxedo.
Wearing his tuxedo, crooning
I think they actually called him Bob Goulet too, which I always get a kick out of. Directed by Richard Donner, who did Superman, Lethal Weapon, Goonies, Omen.
Nice.
So we got everybody here, but here's the issue, Mr. Ben Harley. Now, my whole life I've seen this movie. Everybody's seen this movie.
Yes,
it's pretty available everywhere at all times. Okay, so especially around this time of year.
The cover's pretty famous.
Yes, and something has just always been a little off to me, almost but not exactly watching the VHS version of Intruder. Just something odd. So I did a little digging around because I thought there's got to be something. No Tiny Tim. There's got to be something wrong with this film, and I found out what it was.
Okay.
Bill Murray and Richard Donner did not get along. They had different ideas of what the movie should be, and therefore you have this.
Okay.
And so to me, I see a supremely flawed film.
Sure.
Wrapped up in a really pretty package that I really want to enjoy. Yeah. Basically in a way. It's supposed to be, I guess, a comedy funny. I think I chuckled twice while we were watching it. Now, did I smile and think things were humorous? Yes.
Yeah.
I did. Actually, I think Bobcat Goldthwait was probably one of the best things in a movie. But I've always had an issue with this film, Mr. Ben Harley. I've always had a bit of an issue with this film. It's one of those movies, once again.
Why are you hating?
I want to like it more than I do.
Sure.
I really want to like it more than I do. I have it on Blu-ray and everything, and I watch it a lot, and I just don't ever. It's almost like I'm going to see something I don't see at some other time watching it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about this movie, Ben Harley?
Timo, maybe it's because I haven't seen it in so long. I kind of enjoyed watching it a little bit, mostly because I forgot about a lot of those things. The movies inside the movie and the
like
production
those.
They were putting.
Yeah.
Like just how of a mishmash. We had Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim and the Solid Gold Dancers.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Wow,
show more butt. Yeah.
Yeah, but just silly things like that. I do get it though. I kind of thought remembered it being a little funnier than it was. But I did enjoy watching it this time. I always kind of remembered this movie being a little bit more horror-esque and I think it still is.
Yeah, it is
more than comedy to me, which I think is cool. And I thought back then they kind of really did a lot of cool things at the time, But I'm a Bill Murray fan, so most everything he does, not most everything, but he's just one of those guys when he's on screen. To me, it's sort of humorous, but mentioning what you did, I could see there is something a little different, or a little odd. I think this movie could have been a lot funnier than
That's the thing. I think that Richard Donner might have been pulling it. It could be the opposite though, because you know how people want to do what they're not known for. They want to break character, but let's just put that aside for a second. It felt like Richard Donner was trying to make this into more of a special effects Goonies type thing. Yeah. And that Bill Murray was trying to make it more like a change of heart, goofy comedy.
Yeah.
And they were clashing with each other constantly. That's kind of the way it felt to me. So that everything is good. The writing is good. The gags aren't bad ideas.
No.
Things are executed kind of like, I don't know. And I don't hate this movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to poop on it or nothing. It's not that. It's just that I see people who love this movie. I'm like, it was okay, but I think it was fairly indicative of 1988 that's we're in the same time period, basically.
Yeah.
The movies were just kind of trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do anymore. Like, I'm not sure what was going on.
They were trying to do too much. I think a lot of times too. They really were. And also too, there was a lot of movies coming out that they just thought, well, since so-and-so's in it, it's just going to be a big hit and you're going to enjoy it. And it's going to be funny. And it's like, oh, maybe not so much. Now, I'm a fan of this movie, but this was one of those films that I think people expected to be a smash hit. Now, I think it's more of an, people like it more now, but the Tres Amigos. Now, I remember going and seeing that movie. And a lot of people, I saw that at one of my favorite theaters of all time. And I had to sit on the floor. It was so packed. The girl snuck us in that we knew that worked there. I mean, but that was one of those films too. You had like three of the funniest guys going, but I love the movie, but you have to really look at that film and find funnier things. It's not one of your typical fun. I mean, it's more of a film nowadays where it's like, it's a little bit offbeat. You know what I'm saying? It is. So I think, they were feeding us a lot of that stuff back then. And a lot of it was, you're going to like it because. Right. No, I'm not. No. Right. Just because so-and-so's in it. Now, this one, I feel you, though, buddy. It was starting to head that way. Like, I thought I'd like this movie a little bit more than I did. But I still kind of enjoyed watching it this time. But I think I know why I don't watch it as much. It's because I don't think it's the greatest film ever. Yeah. As far as I'd rather watch, believe it or not, the real, Christmas Carol.
Oh, absolutely. I laugh really hard at the Tiny Tim part, at least in the 38 version, Reginald Owen version. The Reginald Owen version is my favorite. I mean, so that's the 38 version. But I feel you on this too, because I think that's what it is. I think we're feeling a push-pull between a major, and the other thing too is, remember back then, that's right when it started with major Hollywood stars really starting to earn a big paycheck, and to the point where they had a lot of power on set.
Yeah,
I remember this sort of tipped over with like the Jim Carrey stuff and everything, where it kind of fell overboard. You know, and home video and streaming and stuff really hurt Hollywood's bottom line. You know, so they had to tighten their purses or their belts and everything. Whatever, had to tighten their shit up. Yeah. So I really think this is a case of that era where the star and the director were not seeing eye to eye. It's almost like if I got into a movie, I would make sure we were seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
Before I went down this road. But I can tell you one thing. I bet Richard Donner and I bet Bill Murray thought they had the biggest balls in the room. And they probably thought, he'll go with me. I directed Superman. He'll go with me. And Bill Murray's like, I'm in Stripes. He'll go with me. And I don't think they did. And I think it pushed pulled because the effects are pretty interesting. The makeup is pretty interesting. It's done pretty well. And the comedy bits are there. But they're so isolated or something. It's almost like you smile at it.
Yeah.
Instead of laugh at it. I'm going to tell you a little story here. I was, speaking of Bill Murray. So I lived with a friend of mine, Matt Martin, who was the drummer in a band called Sinister Dane around here. They went and they flew to California and recorded a record for Sony Records.
Nice.
For Columbia Records, though owned by Sony or whatever. So they got an album they put out on Columbia. So me and his fiance, who I was roommates with both of them at the time, we drove them to the airport to fly out to California.
Okay.
So and it was a red-eye flight. It was late. So after they got in their plane, we wished them well. My friend's fiance, who was also my friend, of course, she had to use the restroom. So being a diligent man, I stood outside the restroom waiting, kind of had my back up against a wall in the airport. Looked up and I looked at this guy walking by. And I kept looking and it was Bill Murray.
Really? Nice.
And he looked at me. We made eye contact. And instead of going, Bill Murray, instead of doing that, I nodded my head. And he nodded his head at me and he winked. And he kept walking.
That's awesome.
And that was it. Story ain't even over. So when we went to pick up Sinister Dane, when they flew back from recording their record, the guitar player, his name was Jay, he was a good friend of mine. He comes out and I said, man, you're not gonna believe what happened when we dropped you off. Remember, this is before cell phones and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So there was really no communication with these guys until they got back. So they got back. I was like, you're not gonna believe what happened. I was like, I was standing out here waiting for Kristen to use the restroom. I said, and Bill Murray walked by me. He goes, no shit. I go, yeah, no shit. Yeah. He goes, want to hear something crazier? I go, what's that? He's like, look behind you. It's Wilson Phillips Piper. Yeah. It was, I don't know who they are, but it was those three girls. One was heavy or something. Yeah. They were sitting back there being interviewed or something. I didn't even see them.
That's funny.
I didn't even notice it was happening, you know? And Ben Harley, that was like 25, 30 years ago. I'm still me. I still do the same things. I see someone, I just nod at them, and then I don't see someone else who's supposedly huge and famous. I don't notice. I don't care. You know, but
and it's funny how that'll happen. Like,
but I got I got the clear perception that he said, "Thank you for noticing me and nodding and not bothering me. I got things to do, you know, and stuff like that." And this was when Bill Murray this was like 91 or something.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, but anyway, but I thought that was kind of funny. So what I'm doing is explain I'm not a Bill Murray hater. This got nothing to do with it. I do like Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie really always kind of bothered me a little bit.
Sure.
Just kind of bothered me a bit. And, but I want to like it and I watch it. That's right. Maybe it turns me into a Scrooge. I don't know. Listen, all in all, it is Christmas, and that's not why I'm doing this. This is what I'm going to give this a very mild Great Bay Pub.
Yeah.
A lot of talent involved. Just don't like how it was executed.
Yeah.
Just don't like how it was executed. Everything about it. There's nothing wrong with any little piece in it. I think the production's hilarious. I think it has a fairly decent morality tale to it. It's a little rough on that. It's a little dark.
Yeah.
On that. But I think they were trying to punch you in the face with a morality lesson. And I think they might have punched a little too hard. And then not gave you time to get back up or something. It's just a little off. But you know what? It's going to be a class. Look, I thought kind of the same thing about Elf. When I saw Elf.
I like Elf.
Elf's okay. I think I liked Elf more than Scrooge because it's more straightforward, stupid humor.
Yeah.
But But I did have a kind of a it's okay, kind of thing about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna give it a really mild grape ape up. Real mild grape ape up. What are you gonna do, Best Friend Harley?
I'm just gonna give it a regular grape ape up.
Okay.
I still like it. I appreciate it. I think it's a little bit different in the other Scrooges that we have, and there's a lot of them, or Christmas Carol, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm gonna just give it a regular grape ape up.
All right, well, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because, like I said, I really want to like it more than anything else. So
I like the fact that it has some horror tone to it. I do a lot, actually.
Right.
So,
okay.
I do.
Let's see here. Well, Mr. Ben Harley, don't know what we're going to do next week, but guess what? It's going to be a little sloppy because it's going to be around New Year. It's going to be around New Year. Yeah, so always have a fun time doing that show, too. One. So until then, folks, Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. And we'll meet back here for the New Year's show. And until then, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Ho, ho, ho. Keep it creepy.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.